Welcome to Unbiased and On the Fence. This is Paranormal Frequencies. It is Monday night, joined by my guest, Sherry.
Hey.
Well, co-host. And Susso. You're muted, Susso.
Is this where I'm supposed to jump in?
Yeah. Get out of the portal, man.
I'm here.
What's up, buddy?
What's going on?
So, wow, man, it's it was so great meeting you in person. First off, I want to say that.
Oh, you too. That was awesome. Although my neck hurt a couple of times. You're a little taller than I thought.
I think I scared Suso because I kept saying, I love you, I love you, I love you.
Everybody was saying that to everybody. Are you kidding me?
Yeah, it is a loving group, man, and it's just people love being able to, hang out with people that they don't think they're crazy when they talk about stuff.
And right? I wasn't uncomfortable with hugging anybody.
Right.
Yeah.
It's like guys are running up hugging everybody.
Yeah. Wonderful, man. So I read your book a while back. We actually covered your book on a separate show, but definitely want to bring it up here. Yeah, there you go. Yeah, can you hold it where? Yeah, beautiful.
Oh, there you go. Thank you.
Right. So Sherry's been catching up on it. You've read quite a bit of it already. Sherry, you're digging it, right?
Digging it. It's awesome.
Yeah, I loved it.
I wish I'd got more for Christmas presents now, but I'm just gonna do it for the next holiday.
Absolutely. Yeah, it was the first Mandela Effect book that I read, and I absolutely loved it.
Yeah. A lot of real, true experiences in that. And what we were about to touch on, the chapter about youth and childhood, or childhood and youth, I think it's called, that was written to fill pages in. That was written to kind of, first I kind of explained the Mandela Effect as best I could, and then it was, let me talk about my childhood and some spiritual experiences I had, and just to fill in some space, just to get people warmed up to what was coming. And it's so much more now than just filling in space. That chapter is basically what I'm living now, and I would have never thought that is that's my next step. I mean, I think there's probably millions of next steps for whoever wants to look and see what their next step is. I found my next step, whether it takes me to another step or moves me over to a side step or whatever, it doesn't matter. I get to set the Mandela Effect aside as far as it being this thing where I got to keep finding Mandela effects.
Absolutely. Yeah. I went down that same, once I realized it was like a wake up call, and then you've got wonderful channels that cover things like, of course, Moneybags. He does so many great videos that people can go that are new to it, and of course Scarab and so many others that are already even Once Upon a Timeline. I enjoy Eva's work. There's so many other channels that's really focusing on waking people up to what's happening that I feel comfortable just sending people to those channels, because for me it like woke me up to so much more that I wanted to go in deeper, And,
I'd like to shout out Vanessa VA and Effective Collective. What, Erin? I mean, I haven't seen anything in a long time, but I love like her 666 cough syrup one, and also I really appreciate recall vectors like residual and stuff like that. I watch all his videos too. Right.
Very good. Yeah, he was new to me. He like sort of popped on the scene just recently.
But recall vector?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Wow. No,
yeah.
I've been listening to him probably as long as I've been on. Maybe
Wow.
a little later, but because I didn't really when I first started posting, there wasn't a lot on,
Yeah.
and I mean I was in 15 when I was looking at it. There was practically nothing, three, four people, and one of them was somebody called Happy Feet,
Yeah.
and 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 there's somebody now named Happy Feet something. I can't remember what it is now,
But it's
and
different.
I'm wondering if it's the same person. And I
Yeah.
meant to ask them because I've seen them on my channel a few times. I'm like I got to ask them that because it was a couple of those videos that really made me think. I wasn't affected yet, but I was like, wow, if there's something to that, that's pretty cool. And I wasn't affected, but
Hmm.
I wasn't running towards it. At that point, I was looking at flat Earth like a madman.
Hmm.
But the Mandela Effect, Berenstein Bears were around, and to me, I was like, what? I don't get it. I just did not get it.
Yeah.
That was
I
Yeah.
the
just,
video for me was a Shima 2012 Berenstein Bear video, and it was September of 2015. And I was already having a lot of stuff go on, and then here comes that, and it's just been a roller coaster since then.
Now, I do want to say that I've been watching your videos lately and I completely resonate with it. I totally agree with the whole, trying to put a label on things. It's necessary, unfortunately. I have to put Mandela Effect in the title or I won't be found if it's a Mandela Effect video. I have
good
to say
call.
God, source creator. Of course, it's going to upset somebody because there's always people that don't like one or the other.
Mm-hmm.
But I want to make it clear what I'm talking about. This sort of. I like the Law of One calls it intelligent infinity, but of course nobody will know what the heck you're talking about. But
Hey,
that's probably the best
quantum
descriptive term.
infinity really blown minds. Yeah, that those videos. I was very inspired to put out the first one, but and everything. It was weird because I make a video and I would go ahead and try and put it up, and it wouldn't something wouldn't download or something would go wrong with it. So I heck, let me do another one. Maybe I'm not supposed to do that. And I did another one. I waited a day. Um, I really wanted to get it up,
Hmm.
and because I just really felt like I knew that the Mandela Effect is not evil, and I really wanted to get that out. And
Yeah,
the connection that I've been talking about on the other channels that I've been straight around. That's the community. Basically, what was coming in is just it's just not right yet. It wasn't right yet. And I'm not, I mean, yeah, it was perfect, but I'm not sure it was absolutely perfect because I did another video 2 days later going, hold on a second. I just watched my video and I think I misspoke. Yeah, because
yeah,
I'm going, it's not evil. It's not evil. It's God. And right there, there's just too many labels.
yeah.
Just too many labels. And it
Because your
hit.
idea of God and someone else's idea of God differs quite a bit. I mean, that's
Oh,
such a
yeah,
broad term,
absolutely. Absolutely. And then I
Yeah.
realized something else. It's not even God or the devil or evil or whatever, Satan or whatever you want to call it. To me, it came in that, look, that's duality, polarity, that's physical reality. That stuff's not in physical reality. Okay. That stuff's not in physical reality. That stuff's not in it's outside of physical reality. You're not going to give it those terms.
And I'm
So
glad you.
the
I'm
best
really
I
glad
could
you.
say was neutral. And that's what my second video 2 days later was. The Mandela effect is not something to be feared because I felt that in that first video, if I would have took the word evil out and put fear in there, it would have worked even more beautifully.
Exactly. Yeah. In fact, somebody just left a comment today saying that, hey, just subbed. I'm so glad I've been freaking out about this, been scared, fearful of it since 2016. And they saw my presentation I did where I kind of redid my presentation and did it online, a little bit different than the live version that I did at the conference, but basically the same slide, the same slideshow or whatever that I showed there and everything. And so, yeah, I think, and I really want to say this for the people that do believe it's Satan or the devil. They've got a valid perspective, and if they have that perspective, the they're going to get feedback that confirms that for themselves. And that's sort of how it works, you know. So I'm not even telling anybody that what they're experiencing isn't real to them, because we create our own reality. And if that's where they're at with it, they're going to get the
Right.
fear. They're going to see the messages that they get are going to be opposite of the messages I get. They're going to be getting messages of, end of the world, we're all going to die, or we've all died, or this is something to be feared. And so I try to get people to consider, and that's what I always say: just consider this could be, because that's all it took for me. Once I considered that, like, well, what if this isn't just because I never went down the Satan thing too much. Of course, it crossed my mind, but I didn't stick there very long. I always knew that this idea of Satan, he's not going to get one over on God. I mean,
Okay,
the
right.
way I was
And
raised in
yeah.
church, that even from a Christian perspective, I knew he wasn't going to get one over on God like that. If he did do it, then God wanted him to do it. It was sort of like a Job situation where, let me go down there and start changing stuff up, but it's gentle. There's nothing major happening in a way that people should be freaking out about. It's like, oh, really? And
Well,
it's
yes,
little
there
things.
is.
Yeah, you say that, but like when you're coming from like here you are, you know, everybody you think about like the Antichrist and stuff like that's what happened with me. That was the road that I took because whenever I found everything out, I was like, when I saw the Berenstain Bears change, I thought, oh my God, they're practicing to change the Bible. That was the first thing I thought. And then when I saw that it had changed, I really started tripping out. And then my mind went there. And that's when I
Hmm.
got so scared. And then I found your channel and this chat room and all these people and everything got better for me. But just what you said about creating your reality and like everything for me was so scary and then it like totally like flipped. So and that was because of y'all.
Well,
So
let me rephrase what I was saying, because this is actually what I meant. I meant the changes that we observe are done in a way that they're so gentle that, what I'm saying is, like, people that see the traffic lights change, they don't change in the middle of traffic and a bunch of cars wreck into each other. That's what I mean by there's nothing to
Okay.
fear. Like, when a change happens,
Right.
disaster
Okay.
happens, planes start crashing because now their navigation is off. It's done in a way, or you got a heart surgeon that's cutting in the wrong spot because he didn't realize that the heart moved. You don't see anything like that. You know what I mean? You
Right.
don't
Good
see anything
example.
that
Good
any real
example.
fears. That's what I'm talking about when I say there's nothing to really fear. Of course, you can create fear. You can see the Bible's changed, and you can think, "Oh my God, this is the end of the world. This is Satan," and that can be scary. But there's no real harm or fear there, other than in your mind. It's in the mind. That's what I meant
Really
by that.
is. It's in your mind and what you've been programmed to accept
Yeah.
physical reality to be, and now it's not that. And and you're right. It's funny. How have people in the past dealt with this? Because in my opinion, this has been going on throughout time. So how did the people without computers and all that deal with it?
well, I can
Besides,
say this one
besides
thing with the Bible where it had the transgressions and debtors and trespasses. I noticed that all along, but didn't realize that it was like a Mandela effect. So I think I'd had a few things, but never realized, you know.
Oh yeah, I did the same thing with the Volkswagen logo. When that changed, I was like, "Oh, I'm so glad they added that line. I never knew what that was my whole life. I didn't realize it was a V and a W." So for me, I've got that anchor memory of realizing one day when I was behind a Volkswagen, looking at the logo and being like, "Oh my gosh, I felt like an idiot." But I was only like 4 when I first rode
boom.
in a little VW Bug. My mom, a Beetle or whatever they call them, and my mom's coworker came and gave me a ride, and it was like the coolest thing. So it was one of those things where I never knew what it really was from the time I was little, and I never really thought about it again until they added the line in there, and then I was like, oh my gosh! But now you look, and it appears to have always had the line in there. So for me, that's a 100 percenter for me, the Volkswagen logo. But other ones, like, when somebody recreated the McDonald's logo with MAC, you know, because when I first heard about that one, I'm like, it wasn't McDonald's. What are you talking about? And then somebody recreated the logo, and I saw it, and it brought back this nostalgia of leaving church with my dad and going to McDonald's at the time, MAC. And I was like, oh my gosh, it did have MAC in it at one point, and that changed like probably the '80s or something for me.
And then you're
Uh,
like, hmm.
Yeah, now or later's. now they're called now and laters. I didn't realize that was before I knew what the Mandela Effect was. Probably around 2010, I bought some of them, and my kids were like, "Why are you calling them now or laters when they're now and laters?" And I'm like, "Oh, I wonder if they had a lawsuit and had to change the name." You just think of like natural things, you know. You don't think an impossible change has happened, and they've never existed the way you remembered them. So that's why I think the work of, you know, money bags and some of these other channels are so important, because when people come across that, they can see a ton of examples and realize that they are seemingly impossible things happening.
And I said that. I said on my last. Did I say it on my last video? I believe I did. Where I say, yeah, all these people are going to be coming in because of the movie. Okay, this movie comes out. You're going to have people checking it out, going, "Wait a minute, I know." And he picked some really early ones, so other people are going to be connecting to that. So they're going to look into it. And whether they, I mean, did you guys see the movie?
I'm going to watch it this week.
I've seen like the first part, and
Did they use a lot
I
of
was,
examples in it?
I was glued to the what I saw. I didn't
Right,
see a lot of it, and I was glued to it.
right.
I wanted it to keep going, but
I
I
think
had
I
things
saw
to
like
do.
Curious George in the trailer, and they had, of course, the Berenstein Baron.
I will
They were
say
calling it
this.
Berenstein. That was kind of weird that they
I'll
called it
say this.
Berenstein.
I heard two voices that I recognized.
Oh
Yeah,
yeah.
money
Yeah,
bag.
Moneybags and Sasha. They were the two that I recognized. I think they said there might have been more. I didn't catch anything else.
Oh, you're saying they actually had real YouTuber videos in
Yeah,
it?
yeah,
They
Oh,
distorted the voice some, but
yeah. Just in the background, and it was funny because it wasn't just that it was their voices; it was what they said. It was very I remember. I don't remember exactly what each of them said, but I remember when Sasha said her line or whatever it was from her video. I was like, nice. I like that they're at least putting those ideas out there, even though a lot of people say they really pushed the simulation theory. I mean, you had to end the movie somehow. Even though they said that, I feel, and I'm not sure because I haven't finished watching it, that they put a lot of the other ideas in there where
mm.
this guy was investigating it and searching it like we did. So that I liked. I was like, "Ooh, I really want to watch the rest of this." It really hooked me in right away, and I didn't get a chance to finish it up. So,
did you see
but
that
just
movie?
from what I heard, I think it'll be okay.
Did
I
you?
mean, they'll like it. I don't. I'm sorry. I don't
No,
think.
I'm sorry.
I think they're going to portray us in. I don't think they're going to portray us as nuts. Let's put it that way.
Did you see
I don't know.
yesterday?
I didn't say it. Oh yes, I love that movie. I should have wrote that, but that's another
I know
story.
that was awesome. I really liked it. I did.
As soon as I got off the glass table, I should have wrote that.
It was so well done. I thought.
Yeah, I guess that was a lot like your experience that you actually get into in the book.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah,
not that extreme, but I was writing. I wrote 100,000 word documentary based on the Beatles and Paul and whatnot. I mean, it's all right there. I could have done that easily.
yeah.
But and it probably even came to my mind. But my thing was to write about the truth. This is bizarre. I don't. Oh wait, I just impaled myself and stood up with no mark on me. Okay, it wasn't that calm. Oh, stars are coming at me. Oh, orbs are giving me information. I think I can make a buck on this. I mean, that just never came to my mind. I was like, something else is going on here. I got people. I'm watching Batman Begins, and Christian Bale's coming out of the TV, staring right at me. I mean, the first time it happened, he came out of the TV like his torso or whatever, and I'm just like, okay, well, I mean,
That was
I hit pause and it went back to a regular screen, and then the second time it was like he's looking right at me, still kind of in the picture, coming out, going, "What are you waiting for?" Not quite in the Batman voice. And
wow.
yeah, and then I'm just like, pause, rewind, play again, and then this time he's just looking at me, not saying anything, with the dialogue going on around him, and then I did it again, and a girl off to the side kind of looks at me, and I'm like, this is just bizarre. Okay, I wasn't smoking weed then. I wasn't really. I was. My diet changed. I mean, it went from no meat at all to turkey and shrimp. I'm trying to think of all the things that changed. Um, I was drinking, but not a lot. I wasn't drinking beer. I was drinking gin. I wasn't drinking gin well, I did after he came out of the TV. I said, "Oh fuck that! I'm going to get gin."
Yeah.
um, but I mean, even that was like a mild experience compared to what else was going on. I
Yeah, me
mean,
Yeah.
too.
so it was like all this different stuff was trying to tell me something, and it just blows my mind that what are you waiting for? I didn't get.
Right.
The whole time I'm thinking, well, just tell me. Well, just tell me why. What's with all the riddles? Tell
Hey,
me.
is our sound coming out your ear headphones or is it coming out of a speaker? Check one,
Head
two, check.
out of headphones.
Are you sure?
Yeah, why?
Because I just hear us echoing back through a little bit.
Oh, not on my end.
Check one, two, check one, two. Okay. You're wearing headphones, right, Sherry?
Yeah.
I
Okay.
wonder where it's coming from. Keep it low. How is it in chat?
No, it's just every now and then. It's fine though. It's what people typically call the demon voice. They're like, "What was that sound in the back?" And it's like, I gotta laugh every time. It's fine. So you guys, anything you hear in the background, it's not supernatural or spiritual. It's
Right.
just
I'm also babysitting my grandson's present that was bugging my mom, and every once in a while he makes a little noise. So
no,
don't.
it's not that high voice. But no, this is paranormal frequencies. So you guys
Right.
can create your own reality and imagine whatever it is that you want. Yeah. No, I know it's yeah, he says no echo at all. It's just coming through a little bit. And I'm hearing the sound you guys are hearing. So yeah, it's totally cool. It hasn't done it in a while. I'll
So,
point it out the next time it
so,
happens.
so to go on from there, all those experiences happened, and then they dwindled off. And I'm saying when I got on YouTube, which is not really true because I've really pinpointed it. And yeah, I was on YouTube and I was posting my experiences and what I thought was going on. And 2000 April 15th, 2016 was my first video. And by June, I was saying, I don't think I'm posting anymore. I think I'm getting off. I think I said I said they're all that it that what I'm trying to say there.
Yeah.
I said all there is to say. And in a way I really did, but in another way I didn't because I still had I feel like okay, I helped open up the Mandela Effect community because there were things going on while I was posting videos the first 3 months, and I was talking about them in the videos here and there. It's like, wow, I don't. It's like no time, and I wasn't terming it that. I'm like, oh, I could do whatever I want. I did. I wasn't bound down by a big business. I got out of the casino business. That was huge. I'm like, I had a pocket full of money. It wasn't all that much, but it didn't matter to me. It's like it was going to work out. I just knew it, and I just went. And I went. I was going in the wrong direction. I was go. I mean, I was going towards Miami, and I talked to somebody and said, "Hey, come on out to Colorado. I got a job for you." I mean, it all worked out,
Yeah.
and I was in that frame of mind that I'm in now. After the Ketchum,
Mm-hmm.
after that, it's like okay, I got to find the work
You had a
again.
shift.
I shifted. I
Yeah.
saw myself shift. I
Yeah.
noticed a shift. It was brought to my attention. Uh, well, by Cynthia Sue Larson.
Yeah. Yeah, I've
Yes.
totally noticed the shift too, man. And it's like, and I always just respect it where everybody is. I feel like I was on my journey. I had to figure things out, and I just respect where everybody is. But like, I was totally, living vicariously through you when you were talking about all this stuff. I'm like, yeah, 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 I'm right with you. It's
Mm,
nothing to be feared. It's nothing to,
mm.
because there's people that have been stuck on the evil Satan sort of thing for a while. But I've seen other people that were there for a while, and now they're moved on. Maybe it's not, now that they've you
And
know,
even if they're there, even if that's where they're at, it's okay for them. That's what they need to teach them to break out of whatever it is they're going through. I don't even want to
it's
pretend
all a
to
learning
understand
lesson.
that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't want to pretend to understand that because I'm not there. It was funny because um, now I've been setting up this show coming up Thursday at 5:30 on my channel. Thursday, Mountain Time, 5:30. um, with Kimberly Lynn Hansen. And I've been setting it up because she's the one that showed me in Ketchum. It was after the thing was over. I was just, when the thing started, I mean, halfway through, I shifted. I physically realized, I didn't realize it then, but I shifted. Um, and
You
then
know, it's like you're reading my mind here,
at the end of
Suso.
that thing, I learned more when it was over. And that's not taking anything away from the conference. I
No, I
learned
know, I know, I know.
because I coincidentally, I use that word so jokingly. It was not a coincidence. I know where my mind was. I could not understand why I made a right to go to this place, and I thought, oh, I'll just after I made the right, I said, oh, I'll just say bye to some people leaving, and because I really didn't want to leave. The energy was still there. I just let it go. It didn't matter. I
That's
get
the
there.
morning we saw you at the hotel, right?
It was Monday morning.
Yeah. So we came by there, and I
I was
brought up to
walking around.
Kimberly.
Yes, and
Right.
I
Yeah.
came out to the car
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
I was talking because dude, I was just walking around like not. I had no clue what I was doing.
Right. So I
I,
talked to
I,
Kimberly Lynn Hansen about what happened after that, about you taking her to the airport. Can we get into some of that? Because
yes.
that was freaking off. Well, I heard she goes, ask him his side of it because this is my life every day, but you
did
got to
you
hear from Suso's point of view
did
because
was this in an interview or did you talk to her?
no, this was just a private
Okay,
conversation.
okay,
Yeah.
cool.
So it hasn't been out there yet,
Well,
but you
that's
guys will
funny
get
that
into
she
it a
would
little
say
bit more.
that.
Yeah, that's why I said it felt like you were reading my mind because I was just
I'm
totally about
surprised.
to.
Okay, well, I'm a little surprised she didn't talk about it at all to you. I mean, she told you
No,
she
no, she
missed her
told me her
flight.
side. Yeah, she told me her side of it, but I wanted to hear what it was like for you because you had to be
Okay,
freaking out. Because for her, it's just like everyday life for this kind of stuff to happen.
right,
But you got to
right.
be there right by her
Yes,
side, and so I
yes.
want to hear,
Okay,
and this will
okay.
go along with her presentation for people that watch it later,
All right.
just
Well,
at how
I'll
wow.
So cool.
then I'll zip through to that part. I mean, I'm not going to miss anything. You just have to remind me. So I'm just muddling around, saying goodbye to people, talking to people, whatever. A couple hours go by. I'm sitting out there having a cigarette. Me and Kim start talking, and I mentioned the artwork, and she's like, I said, it's not together yet. She's like, no, it'll get together. I'm like, oh, okay. And so when's your flight? Oh, sometime tomorrow. I'm like, she just didn't seem. It wasn't. It didn't bother her. It was taken care of already. It was like, but she just didn't have the answers for those things, but it was already taken care of, kind of.
Yeah.
So I'm like, oh, you want to go take care of your artwork now? I just didn't understand. She's like, oh, okay, let's go. And we go, and we're taking care of that the whole time. Now I'm learning things as we're packing the artwork together. I'm learning things. We went out to lunch, or I guess it was, I don't even know, lunch, dinner, breakfast. I'm telling you, time didn't matter. And things were just happening as we're walking around. And she was showing me without showing me. Wasn't like she was out to do something. It was just happening.
Yeah, you're observing it.
Yes. And the other thing, being an empath, I'm picking up her energy and bouncing that off and not understanding. Okay. When we were out, I feel like I must have been such an annoyance to her because she understood and I didn't. And she must have been getting that I didn't. I just was, but I was going with it. I didn't fight it. I just went with it. I said, that's what it's about. I mean, her whole attitude, that's what it was about. Her whole presentation wasn't proven until it was over. And
Yeah.
she didn't even say it. That's what it's about.
Yeah.
And, so I was experiencing that, calling up the rent a car people and saying, yeah, I, uh, I need an extra day on the rent a car. The bottom line, okay, we can give you the extra day. We can't charge you. Okay.
Okay.
I mean, that's the stuff that was going on. We were eating breakfast. She's on the phone with a client. She says, oh, I like the song they put me on hold for. It came on in the restaurant. What are the odds of that? There's not, what, a billion songs? I mean, it was just stuff like that. So then, okay, the next morning, I'm already running downstairs, like, oh God, I want to make sure she makes her flight on time. I want to get the heck home. I got a 12-hour ride that I left, 12-hour ride that I left 12 hours ago. I want to get on the road. I want to get her to the airport. I'm kind of, I walk down in the common room, and there she is, ready to go. So I'm like, oh, okay, nothing to worry about. We get in the car, we're going. I'm like, yeah, we got to get. Now she kept saying, stop that, because I was it's just my programming and the way I talked, and she really brought it to my attention. A lot of the words I use are just not necessary, and I should start to, if I'm going to speak. I mean, this isn't from her, okay, but this is what I was shown. If I'm going to speak, um, make it the right words. I'd say, oh, I'm sorry. I wasn't sorry. I might have did something I wasn't paying attention to, but I wasn't sorry about that. That's just an example. So we're on our way to the airport, and I'm going, oh, what time is it? We got to hurry up. She's like, will you stop it? Everything's perfect. We're going to get there on time. Everything's fine. Okay. Now, this is what you want to hear, because we get to the airport. We're the only ones there. She's standing there in the thing, and I'm standing next to her, and it's lady's looking at the counter thing, and she says, no, I'm sorry, it's already boarded or whatever. It was taken off. And it was that quick. Now, see, I kept saying that, oh, well, she just happened to get a text message or a phone call at that time. It was around that time. I don't know when she got that text message, but it was about that time. Because just the way everything played out, she goes, oh, well, what else do we have? What else can we get? And it was out of the same Providence or whatever, and in Canada, that a friend of hers needed her help for something. So instead of going where she had to go, she missed that flight. This person wasn't. I don't believe this person was saying, "Hey, come out here. I need your help."
No. What it was is I can fill in that little gap there. So her friend had her mom, I think, had gotten really sick, was in the hospital or something along those lines, and she was like, "Hey, I need you to send some of that healing energy to my mom." She goes, "Well, hey, I can do that better. I can be there in like 3 hours or whatever it was that her flight was going to get there." And so it just so happened that she had a layover in the town where her friend's mom was sick, and she had just enough time to visit. So it wasn't that she missed her flight, and she wasn't freaking out about it. She said you felt bad. You were kind of freaking out, like, oh God, you missed your flight.
I did feel bad, and she stopped me immediately. She said, "No, this is perfect." Pulled out her phone, started, and explaining to me that she's got this. The flight worked out, because that's what I mean. Like, they were still working out the flight.
Even the restaurant you guys went to when she missed the flight, and you guys we're going to go to a restaurant and eat. Like, I don't know, halfway back towards the hotel. Was it like a Christmas themed something or something?
Yeah. Okay.
Which goes right along with her presentation for anybody. Just, you'll figure that out later or whatever. But it was very synchronistic, the way everything kept playing out, and and she was just cool, calm, and collected that whole time.
The whole time.
No matter what happened, she knew that there was a bigger picture. And that's what I'm trying to get through.
I could see where that would have bugged the crap out of me about this trip. I would have missed the flight. I wouldn't have got the text. I wouldn't have been paying attention to it. I would have been too upset about the flight, and I would have been flying all over the world, upset the whole time. No.
But what's wrong is right. She says that a lot. She says, what's wrong is right.
What's wrong is right. And that goes along with that whole, what are you labeling that? What are you labeling what's going on? What's wrong is right. Okay, so that's why I went with neutral, but it's so much a part of it, and that's what I mean. Just that her missing the flight was so a part of
it was meant to be,
what she was showing me.
And you see how you can miss something like that when you start freaking out. You're not being in the moment. You're like, well, what am I going to do now? And then you start worrying about stuff. But with her, it's like she's like, oh, this is what the universe is giving me. Something, there's a bigger picture here to see. And she just starts looking for it and sees it immediately. And it's like, for most people, we're not like that.
Well, she was showing me how I was doing it as well. And I can't say I was doing it because it wasn't me, because it all meshed together as the best possible outcome for every situation.
Yeah.
And one of the things on the way to the airport, I was like, I wish I could learn more. I wish we were spending more time together, walk around, do this some more. I didn't want to lose that energy. And I never lost it, whatever. I go through that. And she just laughed or whatever. And then as we're leaving, she goes, What were you saying about hanging out, learning more, and you spent, we're gonna walk around town and go do some more stuff. It wasn't even that. It was we're in the car. She's going, hey, let's have a day of no time. It wasn't a day of no time. I think we had maybe 5 hours before her next flight. I think, and maybe. So we just went back to Ketchum.
Right.
And we didn't know where else to go.
And she loved the buffet at the hotel, she said. She goes, and I love that buffet anyway. Did you have the buffet? I'm like, I didn't get the buffet. The first time I went to the hotel was that morning when I saw you. I didn't even. No.
There's something about that. We were on our way back to the buffet, and I don't think we ever made it there. We ended up someplace better.
The Christmas place or whatever, I think is where you ended up or something. Halfway back.
The Christmas place, I think the first time we were there, it was closed. The second time, I think we went in there and actually had lunch, I think. I don't know. The whole thing is just like, I'm always thinking breakfast, lunch, dinner. What time was it? Was it light out? Was it dark out? It didn't matter.
It was magical, wasn't it?
Everything was perfect. It was wonderful. There were a couple of moments I feel like no, because I learned from it. Yeah. There was a point where I could have just went off and did my own thing, and I didn't. I kind of hung in an area, and it didn't mean anything. It meant absolutely nothing. But after I got home, I was thinking about the magic and everything that was going on. I thought, oh, what kind of magic did I miss by not going off in that direction? What did I miss? And I thought, no, from now on, when something like comes, and she mentioned that to me, and I wonder if she was testing me to see where I was. Listen, I was all over the place. It was just so much coming in. I was so excited. And one of the biggest things that hit me is the thing that I mentioned in the beginning of the show, that it only hit me 2 weeks ago, that the thing I wrote in the book just to fill pages is what I'm living now. That energy that I felt, that communication that I had, I have now. Not as clear as when I was a child, because that is what I'm to be doing now, is clearing up that connection. And to go along with that, that's like Saturday I was on Scarab's channel. Sunday morning it was morning. Bernadette Gold, a friend of mine, we were just talking, and she's like, yeah, I got to get you on my show. And I said, hey, let's do it now. And we did it Sunday morning, and your show now. And I was plugging your show the whole time. And I was, I'm like, okay, but I was plugging the Thursday night show, Thursday evening show, because this is what it's come to. Now, on the way home, we're together. We put that artwork together. During all that time, at some point, probably right in the beginning, she said, hey, I think the artwork wants you to take it to Canada. Now, immediately, all the brick walls started to go up. But she I say she did it. I don't know. Maybe it was still the energy that I was saying, going, wait a minute. Because she said, this is what I'm showing you. Or I don't think they're her words, but this is what's going on. And I went, okay, wait a minute. Yeah, okay. And I started to actually analytically think it out, which was probably the wrong thing to do. But I was like, okay, you know what? Heck with it. I don't have to be in work until Thanksgiving. It was November 10th? I'm like, I can go to Canada. I'll call somebody, tell them take care of my cats, and we're good. And then it hit me. I don't have a passport. So we both kind of resigned to the fact that, all right, you know what? Because the first thing she said was, do you really think you need a passport to get into Canada? After what you have witnessed, do you really think, But I think both of us just kind of resigned. She did. I'm guessing she resigned to it, because we just went on about, okay, what else are we going to do with it? I guess she was trying to figure out how she was going to ship it back or whatever. And then she said, you know what? Maybe it wants to go with you to Colorado. And she goes, I don't know why. I mean, I can only speculate. Maybe the next time there's a Mandela Effect conference, it'll be here and it'll already be in the States or whatever. And she's just speculating. I'm like, okay. I'm like, well, it's not going to fit in the car. Stop that. It's not going to fit in the car. Stop that. It's not, So
I'm glad she calls us out on it right away, too, because it makes you think, you're like, oh, yeah, I just added that limitation on there that I didn't need to put on there.
There's no limitation ever.
No.
Ever. And that's, I'm getting that.
Right, and that's what she's even taught me. I'm like, you are so much further than like
because
I've used it for finances, you know, since I started this channel. I've had to trust and all that with finances, but she does it with every single thing, man. And there is, you know, there is
to
no
the
limits.
point,
It's
she
just
does it with everything to the point where when it's time to actually, you have to think analytically or live linear or do something linear, you got to stop and think about it. Or she does. And I'm like, I have no problem with getting to that point. I have no problem with that. I mean, it's and it's funny because there's parts of I don't want to say me, parts of it saying, okay, you're going to take this slow. Because I think it knows I'm like, I'm jumping in, let's go. But I'm not jumping in. I think I am, and then it's something, and one of those brick walls that I call it comes up, and I'm like, no, 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 and they're fall. I don't even get to walk through these brick walls anymore. They're falling down before I get near them, which is excellent.
yeah.
Now I have this artwork, and I'm doing 80 from Idaho to Colorado, right? So I got this piece of artwork on my car. I dropped her off the airport second time and just took off, and I think I stopped twice. Um, yeah, I got home about midnight, almost one, and just luckily had somebody there to help. Oh no, I left it on the car overnight, and in the morning I got up, and a friend of mine helped me bring it up into the hallway over here, and it's been sitting there, just sending me love. I go out there to touch it. Okay, it's in a box. Okay, I go out there to touch that. I'm just saying. It's just weird because I'm like, why do I have you?
Wait, so you've got the neon sign one then?
Yes, sir. I got that neon sign light in the box, all wrapped up, nice and neat. And in my head, I'm just like, I don't get it. But it didn't matter, as Kimberly would say. It wasn't even it didn't even have to be an egg, but I took the egg and I said, all right, this is the artwork, and I want the best possible situation to occur from this. Without any damage to me, because I didn't get it. I put the
Yeah,
thing in the basket with all my other bull crap,
yeah.
and it's being taken care of now because now it's being taken care of. There was no problem. That thing could have sat there for 10 years. I didn't care.
Right.
I mean, it didn't matter. I have it. To me, there was a reason that I had it.
I do want to point something out because Dark Wolf's Den's in the chat saying it was November 11th when all that magic was happening, and I want to remind people not only were you guys experiencing this day of no time with all this magic happening, Sherry and I were on the way back from the event, and we had all this cool stuff, all these synchronicities happen that was just magical, and then there was a meetup in St. Louis with a bunch of the viewers that they had. I don't know if you saw it, but a meteor came down, right? You could see it on the footage of the arch. A meteor like shot down out of the sky. They were having their meet up there, get
Really,
together in St. Louis.
I missed
There
that.
was just so many cool magical things happening for everyone
It's
everywhere, and it
awesome.
was yeah,
That is awesome. I didn't know about that.
very cool stuff. So
Yeah.
it's like keeping your eyes open, man. It's always there, and that's what I love about Kimberly is because she reminds you to keep your eyes open, And I've noticed that kind of stuff. I've noticed all the synchronicities because I'm the kind of analytical person that will study something like, is this really happening? I'll look deeper and deeper and deeper and stuff.
That's
And the
good.
more you look, the more you find. I mean, you can't disprove it. It's something
Great,
happening.
great segue into something I showed her. I showed a few people, and they were like, oh my God, that's impossible. That's what made that." And then I showed her, and she's like, "Oh, it's so beautiful." Cynthia Sue Larson saw it. She's like, "Oh, that's amazing." I forget her exact description, and I'm sorry because it was absolutely beautiful. You're going to show that now, aren't you? The pictures I sent you.
Oh, yeah. Let me
That's what
pull
I'm
that up.
talking about because now those pictures I took Friday morning, I believe it was, when I went outside to get a cup of coffee and a cigarette, and I turned to the right, look over the mountains, and boom, um,
Here
that's
it
what I saw.
is.
Yeah. So I took some videos, took some time lapse, some pictures. Now I'm going to tell you something, Shane. Just yeah, just back up. Oh, okay. I was going to say back. Is that a video? Oh, okay.
This is a slow one. I'll show the time lapse here in a moment.
I'm gonna say next time you get that picture, I've set that up. I'm gonna say. So first off, my first initial, well, my initial feeling was, okay, I went along with the whole, not along with the whole conspiracy thing, but yeah, how everything just stayed right together. I thought, yeah, what else could make that, and even the planes, what plane could make that,
Right.
So then talking to a few other people, and I was also looking at it a lot. I thought, well, you know what? This is a direct, and after listening to Kim, this is a direct message to me. The night before is when I did the neutral video on how the Mandela Effect is neither good or evil. It's neutral, and I get this neutral sign in the middle of the sky, or I guess some people said 0 point, and my first instinct was don't look at the sky. That's what that's saying, right? Now, and then I thought, wait a minute, that's my bullseye. I hit it on the head. It's neutral. That was my message from God, or it my the connection that I've had as a child that I have now. That was, to me, that was boom. And Cynthia Sue Larson sent me a message and gave me her perspective on it and how beautiful it was and what she felt. And right before I got her message, I was looking at that, and Shane, tell me you don't see the word love in there.
Oh, yeah, I can't make out
Because
the word love. Yeah.
I see the word, I see the L, I see the O, I see a V, I see the E. I mean, and that cracks me up. I was like, wow, this is amazing.
Now, I got to point something out here. I don't know if you've seen this yet or not. What the heck is this up here? Let me get it. What is this?
Hold on. I went to the email that Cynthia had. Hold on, I was going to see how she described it. Where are we at?
You see this?
Yeah, where is that in the sky, dude?
Dude, that looks like a craft.
Are you telling
Look, it's got the light on the top. It's got the dark on the bottom. It's spherical shaped.
I get you. That is not natural. What? That's in my picture?
Right there.
felt like that something.
Dude, how did you find that?
Man, I'm all about looking at pictures like this all the time and seeing stuff. But this here looks like you caught something right here, and you had no idea. That's what's so funny. Live on the air, folks. This is live.
You're not getting my expression now, are you? Because you don't want to see that. Oh my god!
Oh my god, man, this is awesome.
I caught me something.
That's not a bird.
Oh well,
it's not a plane.
Now you say that, Superman. You don't know. You don't know what that is. That could be a bird heading right for the camera at some speed. Oh. I mean, if it was, I don't think so.
No,
now,
see, this is saying don't doubt it. Don't doubt it.
Okay, so where is that? Where is that thing compared to that picture? Zoom it.
It's right here.
Right. Oh man. Oh man.
The top middle. Right there.
Dude, that is an object.
It's an object, man. I mean, you can see the shadow. You can see the light shining down on it. You can see the shadow underneath it.
What a freaky, because it's looking right at me.
Is that a beak? I don't know. It's some kind of orb, though. This is cool.
No,
it's cool. I'm glad you can see. Let me see if we can see it fly by, because. Okay. I don't know,
I did do a video.
Yeah, let me see.
In that area.
Okay, here it's not here. Look. Hold on, let me see here. Oh, this is the video. Let me go to. Okay, there's two videos. Let me see if it shows up in this video here. This is the slower one. Oh, it could be something that just flew by. What was that? Could be an insect. Let me see.
I don't know. It looks too spherical to be an insect. What, you see it?
Right. Let me. I gotta pause.
It is there in the video.
Right here.
That's it?
It just flew by so fast. Oh, there it is here. It went from here to here. Do you see it?
Yeah.
I can't zoom in on this because it's a video, but you can go back and check it out at 1 second. That's amazing. Yeah, something flew by.
That's messed up, man.
Wait, there it is there. At 5 seconds.
At
Well,
five, can
it
a
was.
bird move that fast? I don't know how far
I
out
don't
that
know.
is.
It's toying with you almost, isn't it? That's amazing, man.
Wow. And where did it go from
There,
there?
wait. Now it showed up again right here. Why is it? It's like appearing and disappearing. It's
I think it's
there,
It's jumping.
and then it reappears there. I just saw a shiny orb right here, and not on the screen in my third eye or something. I don't know what it was. Okay, so wait, I think I saw it again in the that there it went again in. Oh, what is that? There it is. There,
That's
right in the
freak.
center. That's amazing. Yeah, I don't know what it is.
Right smack in the center of that circle where the line is. That's where it was.
Yeah, right.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm sure
What are
that's
the
not on
chances?
purpose. Right. Please.
Okay, I saw something there. Let's see. That might have been a bird, but
In your opinion, am I supposed to send this to anybody? You could
yeah, I
just,
don't know.
I mean, and there's a couple people on YouTube probably love that.
Yeah, like Mr. MBB. Let's see.
Hmm.
I
Yeah, he
can't.
came to mind.
I can't get the. Sorry, guys. I'm trying to.
I don't think they mind. That's pretty bizarre. Just that. Even the clouds around it were just bizarre.
Yeah, and here's a
Hey, there you
plane.
go. What's the? Okay, that's
That's
a
a plane
plane.
going across. See, you can see it frame by frame. It's moving across the sky.
I don't know. Okay, so we can, yeah.
And I love that sundog you caught right there. See the rainbow and the.
Yeah. Yeah, well, I stopped with the time lapse. It didn't matter anyway. The sun was coming into the camera.
All right.
That was early morning.
So going back to here, that's something, man. I don't
Yeah,
know
I
what
don't
it
think
is.
that's a bird. Zoom in on that stuff. I don't think that's a bird, man. That's now. Do you have any kind of way you can change the?
I can't really enhance it now. I mean, I could, with a little time, but not here on the fly like that. But that's amazing. Nothing short
Wow,
of amazing, in my opinion.
wow.
So yeah, take a closer look at that. That's wild.
I'm kind of weirded out by it. I'm not sure I want
Yeah.
to. I'm like, great. All right, Kat, you're not going out anymore. We're staying in.
Well, and people don't even know your orbs in the star story, or some of them don't. You know, it'd be brand new to them. So, and a lot of that is in the book. I don't. Let's see. That's in the book. The what we talked about, the empowerment. That's in the book. Your connection with source when you were younger. That you just thought you were adding some fluff to fill in the book, but
Yep.
now it's and so much of that is like that, and you were what you were saying earlier. You're like, you've changed. What I've figured out on my journey is it's sort of about keeping that forward momentum going. You know what I
Yes.
mean? It's like that momentum because you can feel the growth. You can feel how much you changed.
Another great
Going in that.
segue because that's
Yeah.
exactly where I'm going. I wanted to keep the momentum going, so I came back from Ketchum. Wasn't really thinking about the artwork. That wasn't a big deal to me. And for me, it was just like, let me get back to work. So I come back to, hey, we ran out of money. Well, they've been closed. And they ripped up the back of the bar, put down tile, ripped up the kitchen, put down tile. Well, they were putting down tile by the time I got back. And I was like, put me to work. And they're like, we can't pay you. I'm like, all right. So I got almost another 2 weeks off. Now, the whole time I'm in the zone. Okay, we'll call it in the zone. And I want to communicate. I want to do something. Let's practice.
Yeah.
Okay, let's practice. And it was like, okay, relax. What do you mean relax? I want to do something. Let's go. Come on, well, go. They'll give you the caddy. Go to the hot springs. So I thought, you know what? Today's Tuesday. He's going to be gone. He's doing this, that. There's no way I'm going to get the cat. You know what? Stop that. I went out, just caught him before I left. Okay, get the caddy. I'm going to go to hot springs. Yeah, here you go. Here's the key. Yeah, I mean, just catching him or whatever. There was no problems there. And the next day comes by. What am I going to do? I don't know. I'm hanging out. I just chill out. I clean the room. I'm saying stuff like, I really want to do something. And it's like, look, this is what I was getting. And it's not words, but it's when I ask you to jump, you're going to jump. Okay. And it's not like that. That's not how it's coming in. That's my personality because some of my personality is definitely coming in through this thing. Okay.
Right.
and it'll do that to get my attention. It'll call me Susso. Okay, that's kind of freaky. It doesn't have to call me anything. I don't need a label. Call me what I don't need a label. That's what it keeps telling me. And it was a lesson that I learned. I mean, that was my big thing was, what do you want to call you? I want to label. And I kept like for a week, I'm trying to label it. It's telling me no. So I get on with Armor Up. I have him on my show. And I'm trying to tell the Christians, you don't have to call it Jesus. And this thing is coming in like a freight train going, why aren't you listening to me? And I said, but that's I'm going to, that's what you were telling me, that we don't have to name it. I'm telling you, you don't have to name it anything. If they want to call me Jesus, let them call me Jesus. If they want to call me God, let them call me God. If they want to call me Yeshua, let me call them. I don't care. I don't have a label. Why do you keep wanting to give me one?
Yeah.
And it was a bit disheartening, but if you watch that Armor Up episode, I catch it in the middle of that show where I just start to clam up, and I'm just like, yeah, just let him go. I'm going to sit back here and because, wow, I mean and that's what I needed to get the message, because no matter what, I wanted to name this thing. It's just no. So I went through my whole it's not evil and it's just neutral thing, which are still labels.
Yeah.
So I'm over it to the point where I ain't making no more videos about that. It's I'm done.
Well, I think one of the things that I learned through this whole process is I try to do like Jesus does or did in the Bible. When he was talking to the Jews, he talked to them as if he was a Jew. And in fact, I think a lot of that comes through as if he was sort of supportive of their religion, but he was meeting them on their level. You know what I mean?
Okay? Yeah, okay. So, but Jesus was Jewish.
Yeah, but what I'm trying to say is, he talked to people like on their level, So if I'm
Right.
talking to Christians, I'm calling it God and the Holy Spirit and Jesus and all this sort of thing because that's what people are comfortable with. But
same with his teachings. Okay,
exactly.
he's not going to come out and go, "Hey, listen, guys. If we just connect with this, you can go into any dimension you want, and we can experience whatever." He wasn't going to talk to people like that.
Mm-hmm.
And what he did was showed by example, from what I understand. I mean, I wasn't there.
Right.
And I often say, what, we didn't see the miracles, but the teachings are what's important, not the man or the miracles or what he did. Because to me, that energy that I had as a child that's working with me now was what Jesus had in complete totality working through him. Okay,
Right.
so now if you have that energy working through you in complete totality, and you're saying, stuff. I don't. Did he ever say he was coming back? I'm coming back in 2,000 years. Did he say that?
Hmm.
So where's that coming from? The Christ energy was returning in 2,000 years. If that's not coming from the Bible, where's it coming from? Because I just have memories of, maybe it's the Book of Revelation. I don't know.
Well, there was some stuff at the end of the Gospels. Go ahead, Sherry.
He just said he'd gone. I'm going to prepare a place for you. That was that.
And then he said he's going to send the Comforter, which was the Holy Spirit. And then, of course, they had the Pentecost, which I grew up in a Pentecostal church. But yeah, I think.
Can I just say I love the label Holy Spirit for that energy?
Yeah,
I really
good,
do like that,
mm-hmm.
But it still doesn't want to label. It's waving its finger at me.
Well, I think, and I think it's because no matter what you call it, you're limiting it. As soon as you strap a label on it, you're limiting it. You're saying it can't do this now because it's this, and that's what I brought up because I should have said that during my presentation. I think I ended up saying it during one of the panels or whatever.
Your presentation was perfect, but go ahead.
I appreciate that, but I think it didn't come through that. I don't think it's. It's important for us with the labels, but it doesn't appear to be important, because you got, people in the New Age community that will say, well, you go to Raphael, Archangel Raphael for healing, or you go to this, and I don't know, I haven't studied it, I'm just giving examples. But, if you accidentally call on Archangel Michael or Jesus or the Holy Spirit and you mess it up out of ignorance, like you didn't know what to call it, that's a a human thing to add the label to it. Your prayer, your request, your asking for help is going to get through to who it needs to get through to. And so I tend to call it a benevolent agency, you know, because they're all on the same team here, whether it's Jesus or the Holy Spirit or one of the angels, you know.
Bringing all kinds of deeper stuff. Well, stuff
It's
that I'm like,
beautiful,
God, yeah, it is. I'm like, I really hope I get to talk with this later because I don't know how much I want to bring it up because the whole consciousness thing is just mind blowing to me right now, and it's exciting, and
it is. It's
what
very
I'm learning and how I'm understanding it, and it's from the I don't know what to call it. It's a private group on Facebook. Are you in that by any chance? The
I'm in a lot of
principles.
groups, but I don't
Okay,
know.
the KLH principles, Kimberly Lynn's.
Oh, I got to join that one.
I don't think you're getting in yet. I think it's kind of full, but I don't know. Maybe she'll probably let you in. I think you get a VIP. I don't know. I'm not going to speak for her. Oh, you know what she told me? It would be too late for anybody to get in now anyway. It's already 3 weeks in, and believe me, it would be a task to go through the motions of what she's already presented, but it's not a problem. I'm sure she'll do it again and whatever. Like I said, I'm not going to speak for her. But you're not going to miss anything. Don't worry about it. Honestly, because I after this is over, and the book's not even out yet, so
everything's perfect. I'm not worried about it.
Yeah, it's so perfect, and
you can really see looking back now how everything. I mean, you got where you are right now out of pure ignorance, correct? I mean, you didn't plan to be where you are, right? You just ended up here, correct? I mean, would you have planned
Let
to
me put
end
it
up where
this
you're
way.
at right now?
I tried so hard to get away from where I am now, physically, that I gave up because I realized I need to be here for some reason. If I would have went anywhere else, I may not have got to Ketchum, which was a big crossroads in my life, pinpoint in my life, big. I mean, I'm looking at that. But if it was that big, it didn't matter where it was. But there are other things. Now, you're going to talk spiritually. Yeah, same thing. I'd had to get to Ketchum because of the road I took for the last 4 years, because I really feel like I don't know how far I would have got because I don't know which directions I was going in, but I can totally see where when I was just posting my videos and my ideas and not getting all the other channels involved and getting involved in the big community and the way I did. I mean, because I'm involved with everybody.
I love that about you too.
Because that was my thing. I wanted to be a bridge builder. There's other better bridge builders out there than me, but I wanted to bring together the big channels. And instead of doing that, I'm just kind of friends with everybody, which is fine. But, that was my thing. I was trying to, and just, I helped grow the Mandela Effect, however I helped, whatever. But I realized, like since June of 16, I'm saying I got to get offline, and I didn't have to get offline. I just had to take myself out of that situation, YouTube community, and I'm doing it now. I'm off it now because now I'm doing my videos again, and there's content, and there's meaningful content, and I jump on a chat here and there, your channel, Scav's channel. You guys are close to me. So, yeah, I mean, I jump in, say hello, show my support. I'm not always into the topic. I'm not always into the subject. If I'm there, I try and show support for even the little channels. I think it's important. I'm not even so concerned. I'm not concerned at all about what they're doing on YouTube. If that does blow up and they got rid of like all of us, better for you, because you're going to learn more individually instead of bouncing shit off of people constantly. It's good to have this. This ain't coming from me, guys. It's good to have the community and to do that bouncing, but at some point you got to get down and apply by yourself. You got to come up with your connection and make that connection stronger. You do whatever you want to do, but you got to. The idea is to the Mandela. You've seen, okay. Kellogg's Corn Flakes. There's no more big bird on the box, where we all know there used to be some big bird on the box. What does that mean? It's never been there. God's tapping you on the shoulder saying, okay, it's okay. Whatever it is to you, physical reality is not what they told you. There's something else. What's the next step? There's got to be a next step.
Wait a minute. I didn't know about that. When the Kellogg's bird isn't on the cornflakes anymore?
What is it, a rooster?
Yeah, it's something like a rooster or something. Yeah.
Do you ever remember it on the box? Is like this big thing on the side? Or
Oh, yeah, down the whole side of it. It was
now
like
it's
red
just-
and green.
Now it's just like a head or something.
Wow.
It's just
Wow,
the
that's
head.
interesting.
Not only that, the corn, for me, when I was in Mississippi, I saw it as K-O-R-N. Man, I'm in Mississippi, and I'm looking at Kellogg's K, corn K, K flakes, and I'm thinking, there's just no freaking way. That's what I saw. I'm like, you gotta be kidding me.
Right. But you had that note. See, I don't remember there being a K on the corn.
Well, it was just a period of time, and there is one other person that I know that saw it around that time, I believe, and it I don't want to say triggers him big, but it's a big 100%er for him. That's Guy Fawkes. He talks about it a lot. On a recent show not long ago, we were looking at Noble popped it up on the screen, and it was a picture of Kellogg cornflakes, and you could see where the C kind of looked like a K in the back in the distance, and it was kind of freaky because the thing off of the chicken's head looked like the side of a K. That was neat. But yeah, that's one that. And another one that freaked me out is, you remember when I had all the Mandela effects up on the bar?
Yeah.
I got no camera now.
Yeah, your camera went away. I'm mesmerized by your. I was looking at your avatar. I'm like, oh.
Love that baby spins. Well, see, I was going for my last name, and the back of my YouTube page is Mountains, and my last name means Saint of the Mountains, or Mountain Saint. I was like, well, what the avatar? What do I got? I'm Saint, and I'm like putting up astral things and Saint, and the gifts and stuff, and that came up, and I went, that's cool. But when I had these things up here, I had all the cereal boxes and all the Mandela effects up there, and it was like my little studio. God, I wish I threw most of that stuff out. There was a Snap Crackle Pop. What is that? Rice Krispies box.
Mm-hmm.
And the characters were this big. Okay. And one day I walked in, and the characters were this big. and it was to a point where I was just like, all right already. I just don't care. You don't thrill me like you used to, okay? I'm just not. And I can tell you right now, even then, it was talking to me and trying to communicate with me. It was saying, well, what are you going to do about it? What are you going to do now? And the thing I kept getting was, throw this stuff out. It doesn't matter anymore. Get rid of YouTube. It's done. That's not what it was saying, but my connection wasn't clear enough. So that's what I was getting. Because if I would have got rid of all that stuff, I would have done things on my own and progressed more. I didn't have to get rid of it. It's me. I mean,
It's more like switching your perspective, not necessarily.
Yes. And because my connection was not as clear as it is now, or as clear as it's going to be, I was just taking it. It still brought me to where I had to get, so it was perfect. It didn't matter.
Yeah.
But that was freaky about the Rice Krispies guys, that they got bigger.
And then the Rice Krispies treats instead of Rice Krispie treats. There's been some changes with that.
Yeah, well, the S thing on the end. The one that bothers me is Victoria's Secret. I know that wasn't an apostrophe S. I say bothers me. None of them bother me anymore because they're perfect. And
because you switched your perspective, though. That's why
exactly what happened when I shifted. I was changing my perspective. Same thing, however you want to call it. One of Kimberly's things is, it's perfect. It's closer to truth. And everything I've been looking at, I'm realizing, yes, that is closer. Even the yield sign going from yellow to red. You're not cruising through a yield sign. You're stopping. Okay? I mean, most of the time, you're actually stopping at a yield sign. Okay? The closer to truth thing was big, and so many things I want to. I got to remember to talk to her about on her show. And this is not.
Wait, when is she coming on again? For
This
those
is
who joined in late,
this is not her way. I'm gonna write this stuff down. It's not the way to do it. Just let it happen.
You say Thursday with
It's gonna
Kimberly
be
Lynn Hansen?
Thursday night, 5:30 Mountain Time.
Okay.
Kimberly Lynn Hansen will be
7:30
on.
East Coast. Okay.
That would be 7:30 East Coast. Kimberly Lynn Hansen will be on my channel, and we will be discussing what I'm about to tell you now. We got time, right? Are we in any rush?
Yeah, we're good.
All right. What did I want to write down? You see? It was perfect. I don't have to.
We can rewind it and watch.
No, it's not. Oh, it's about her artwork. I'm not going to forget that. I don't even have to write that down. It's about how. Okay, I'll talk with her about that, not you. But on that, and we'll talk about her artwork because it's involved in this. Thank you for the segue. Monday, what's today? Monday.
It's Monday.
A week ago today. I get a call from Kimberly. I call her back, and just what did she hit me with right away? It was like, it wasn't right away. It was, hello, how are you? Little pleasantries, and then it's like, hey, I was invited to New York to do an interview, and when I pictured myself doing it, this is not verbatim, I saw the artwork behind me. And I went, oh, cool. Did I say this already, or we talked about this before we got on the show?
No, we didn't talk about it. But, you know, I'm glad you said that because there's been this blending, and I've heard it from several people now, between what you think about, what's happened in the past, what you've dreamed about, and there's just this meshing that seems to be like the veils dropping between all of this stuff with imagination and stuff.
It's not going to count in this case. I've talked about it Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and now today. So I've been talking about this the last 4 days. So.
Okay.
Because I'm setting up Thursday's show. And I say Thursday's show because it's not even about Thursday's show. It's about the 2 weeks after that. She calls me Monday and she says this artwork, she sees it behind her, and I thought, okay, immediately I'm like, send me the address, I'll mail it to you, whatever. And she's like, no, I don't even know how she words it. It was just like, instantly I thought, no, I've been asking for this, and I wanted a hard one. I don't want it to be that easy for me, okay? I want it to be hard. Because I want to show by example, and if I can't prove it to myself, how am I going to prove it to anybody else? And I'm not trying to prove anything. It's already been shown to me. I'm not even sweating it.
Right.
There are certain things that I've been shown that I need to zero in on. Like, for instance, when I go out and have a day of no time and not worry about anything and just pick up what's supposed to be happening and coming to me, you say hello to everybody, and you're excited about it. You're not looking for, hey, what do you got for me? Okay, it's just an example. But that's how I went, and I was by myself. I wasn't running around going, hey, what do you got for me? Hey, what do you got for me? Although that might work. But I realized I needed to just go out and be excited about nothing or the next thing or whatever. It just didn't matter, and that's what was it going. But anyway, we're on the phone, and it was just, for me, it was brick wall after brick wall. I just got off a vacation. I just crapped through $4,000 that I was going to put down on a car. And that wasn't the Ketchum trip. It was coming back to 2 weeks of no work and living like a king. I mean, so, and I'm exaggerating a little on the money because, I had enough. I always have enough. Always. I always have more than enough. And I don't even realize it. I've been looking back on my life going, wow, what a waste of time. Anyway, by the end of that conversation, I'm like, it's going to happen. She was doing the talking, and I was just kept pulling it in going, yes, this is what I've asked for. This is what I want. And even though I had these little eggs out here, that all these problems, all these issues, I started to say, no, you know what? And the eggs were even dissolving. I didn't even have to put them in the basket. And there were a couple of ones that I did have to put in the basket because I'm like, okay, I don't even, what's funny? I don't even want to go through the stuff now because it's done already. Okay, there wasn't a money issue, but there would have been at some point. Chris Sinatra got a hold of me and said, "Not to worry, I'm helping you out with the trip." He's more than helping me out with the trip. Okay, it's not, I told him, I said, "Look, that's fine. That's going to do the trick." And he's like, "We're going to make sure this is a big. We're going to get this out here." He's set on that. So I'm extremely grateful for that, because that was the biggest brick wall for me. And it wasn't even a brick wall. Like I said, it was there. It would have happened, even if it was every dime I had. It was going to happen. He took care of that. I got the girl down the hall taking care of my cats. I wasn't real happy with the way the guys took care of my cats when I was in Ketchum, but whatever. They're fine. All the brick walls just fell down completely. I mean, I'm still looking at issues.
They were in your mind, though.
They're not even in my mind now. I got to explain where I'm at now. They would be in my mind if it was old Earth stuff, and they're kind of there now because I'm talking about it.
Right, but I'm saying they were never real brick walls. It was only at that time perceived blockages or perceived obstacles.
I've never taken.
And we do that so much.
Let's see. I had 1 3-day vacation in the last 4 years. I just took a week in Ketchum, and now a month later, I'm jumping on and going for another week, something. And I kept saying, "Well, I want to show by example." And Kim's like, "Yeah, you can film it and do videos for your YouTube crowd." And I'm like, awesome.
Yeah.
That's a plan. But I want there to be an adventure and stuff. And I'm like, so I'm not really planning anything. If I feel it's time to break out the camera, I'll break out the camera. I'm trying just to let it happen. If it wants me to break out the camera, it'll tell me to break out the camera. It's funny. I want to know where I got some of this stuff, because I was reading something. Oh, I think it was in. I got to go downstairs and get that book. It was so dead today. I was reading Cynthia Sue Larson's book downstairs at the bar, Quantum Jumps, and it said something. I had to laugh because it said something like, "You get to the point." This is not verbatim from the book, but where you just go right to the back of the book. You like have a question and the answer's at the back of the book. You just go to the back of the book. It's like, I've been going there with a lot of my conversations. I'm like, okay, instead of explaining it, let me just tell you the end. That's a lot of the stuff that's happening. But anyway, after the conversation, my last thing was, "Hey, it's going to happen." And now, less than a week later, it's most definitely happened. And I tell you what, I've been to 3 different car rental places, and they all just keep not working out. And I'm just like, not working out, because the one guy called on the phone. He said, "Nobody's there today, but you can go by and check out the 2 cars." So I said, "Oh, the 2 cars that the artwork might fit in." So I said, "Oh, I don't walk by." No, I was out in another town. I jumped on a bus randomly. I mean, this is the crap I'm doing now. Okay. I just jumped on a bus, go to the next town. An hour and a half later, I'm walking around this town going, "What am I doing?" and I just started looking, rent-a-car places and stuff like that. I was just having a day. But that's where I learned to be excited and not to look for it, if that makes any sense.
Nice, like letting it happen.
I guess, if anything, I needed to learn that before I take this trip. I mean, to me, because I can feel the excitement building, and I keep kind of slowing it down, because I'm like, I got a few days. Oh, there it is. Yeah, there it is.
Jumps.
What a great book, man. I'll tell you what, I'm halfway through it. I want to finish it before I leave. That's why I'm like attacking it, because I love it. Keeps me in that zone. Right now I'm on the chapter about other people's shifting experiences, and I'm like, this is keeping me in the zone. This is enjoyable. Wow. Do I put Star Wars on, or do I read this book? I mean, it's like, I want to read this book.
Exactly,
at the bar, what am I doing? And there's nobody there, so I'm not being rude. So yeah, that's the deal now. And there's a little more to this that hasn't been put out there anywhere, because I just finding out now. I have off work the 16th to like the 23rd or something to that effect. I'm not even worried about the coming back date. If I don't make it back on time, I don't make it back on time. I don't care. So it's like I'm not on a time schedule, and I love that. That's going to be beautiful. I kept thinking I'm leaving on the 16th. They want the artwork there by the 18th at the latest. So I'm like, all right, I got to leave the 16th. I look at the schedule and I realize I'm off like the 13th and 14th. I got to work the 15th and I'm off the 16th. And then I'm like, and I don't know if I'm working the 15th yet. And I'm just like, God, if they just give me off, that gives me like a couple extra days just to chill and take my time and really experience no time and being excited about the next adventure, not worry about where the hell I'm going or who's feeding my cats or nothing. I got nothing to worry about. And I'm like, okay, listen, it's all right there. And what I did is I walked in yesterday and I looked at the schedule and it wasn't done yet. So I went and I put on that day, I put AS, that's my initials, off, just underneath it, right next to 16, 17, and all that. I just put it there. I said, you know what? It's so late. I don't think I'm getting it. Nobody wants to work that day because it's the employee party for Christmas. They want me to be there. You know,
Right.
I'm not sweating that. Yeah, I went down, looked at the schedule this morning, and I'm off. So I'm off from the 13th to the 23rd at least, and now I get to leave early. And I think that, you know, it's like I'm still, that egg's still in the basket. It's still giving me the best possible situation, best possible scenario. It's still working itself out, or whatever it's doing. It's already there. It's already done. I just haven't gotten all the info yet. Because and it's funny, today I started to put what I'm talking about in action. I'm starting to talk to people. Oh yeah, I'm heading to New York. You know anybody I could rent a car off of? I'll throw you $500. Give me your car for 10 days. You know, I'm thinking, shit, I'm going to see somebody on the street. I'm like, wow, the artwork will fit in that. Yo, you want to make $500? You want to make $600?
Right.
Because, you know, that's what I keep thinking. I'm like, I'm getting this. I'm going to be renting the car for 10 days now. I don't know yet. There's a U-Haul place down the street. I thought I could go talk to them. At least that's close and convenient. Every place else is an hour away.
Yeah.
And I have no idea how I'm getting there yet, or how the artwork's coming with me. I'm not even worried. This is the point.
Yeah,
this
exactly.
is the whole point.
That's what's so beautiful about it.
This part, to me, is the easy part, and it's the main thing. I need a vehicle. You know, and so that's what's going to be happening. And Thursday, I'll be on with Kimberly Lynn Hanson. We're going to be talking about this and further. I think it's going to be a really good show. Really good.
Thursday at 5:30 Mountain Time.
5:30 Mountain Time.
Do you have some other shows coming up this week?
So, no, I will be putting up an old video from 2017. It's about an hour and a half long. Funny because I'm talking about this stuff in that video in the beginning. I'm talking about it at the end of my vlog 5. Because I have a new channel now. If you've already been subbed to me, you lost that. YouTube didn't get rid of me. I purged that channel. This is my new channel, and I've been putting up all the old stuff.
Yeah, I just actually realized that the last time you were on, it was the old one. I was like, I better check this link, and it was bad, so I had to go find your new one. But your new one is down below, you guys. If you feel like you've already subbed to Susso, you're probably unsubbed because he just wiped it all. How many subs do you have? I don't think you even hit 100 yet, right? So he needs you guys to head on back over there.
Yeah, I'm around 250 now, and that's only because I hit Bernadette's channel and Dan's channel, and I had a couple of the other smaller channels around them and telling them. So that's the only reason I got the 250. I think I just broke 200 maybe last week. And that's just been, you know, people are coming and going, did YouTube already get rid of you? Like, no, I'm thinking they're going to get rid of all you guys, and they're going to look at me and go, oh, he just started, let him go. You'll be coming to me going, I want to go live on your channel.
Absolutely, man. So yeah, you guys go sub. Let's get them caught up in subs, and I'll be over there on your channel. Were we gonna go on right after this, or it might be a little too late for me now, but
We
I'll
could
be back over there.
Tuesday. How about Tuesday or Wednesday? I'm done. We could do it early morning or after 6.
I'll be busy the rest of this week because of the
Okay.
full moon and meditating and getting my connection
Okay.
to it. And
You know what?
yeah,
I'd
it's
say
gonna be big.
we could wait till after the trip. Probably have more to talk about. I know I'm going to be doing a show with Kimberly after we get back. Bernadette wants to do a show after I get back. She's all keeping an eye on that.
Yeah, let's do that. For
You
sure.
know, and I'll be talking to you and Dan, so I'm sure. But yeah,
So,
I think,
that's a week from today, man. You're going to be on the road.
dude, it's. I'm so excited. This.
It's so freeing. It's so liberating. That's the whole liberating thing that you feel. That's
Yeah.
the thing I'm trying to get across to people, that like, because I think sometimes we're just kind of hung up on our worldviews. Well, mine had already been shaken up quite a bit, and when the Mandela Effect happened, I'm like, this doesn't fit the worldview I got right now. But for
No.
some people, they'll make it fit their worldview, and I think it can be limiting in a way. Now, and that's okay if they want to do that. I'm not saying it's bad, but I'm saying that there's so much more out there. There's so much more out there, man.
Out there, and I stopped because you were saying the same thing. There is so much more out there, and it's one of the things that came up. One of the first things that Kimberly and I were talking about, not on any shows or anything. This is probably it was definitely in Ketchum. We were discussing how the Mandela Effect is. My term is stepping stone. Okay, Bernadette's term is doorway. It's a doorway. It's just, that's all it is. You're standing at the door. Go in it. That's what she kept saying. Kimberly's terms, I don't think she has terms. Because when she saw something like a Mandela Effect, she was like, oh, okay, well, I guess that's better. I mean, that was just her. I guess that's better.
Yeah, I was amazed at the way she would, because she wouldn't even consider herself as being Mandela affected. Don't get me wrong, she sees them happening.
Yeah,
but she doesn't put that label on herself.
She's
she
not
goes,
going to.
I see it happen. I'm like, oh, this is the
funny,
new way it is. She said, I can walk
while.
into my apartment. It can be rearranged. I'm like, oh wow, this is just how it is now. Beautiful.
I think it was a text or a message from her, maybe on Facebook, that it was that Cheshire Cat, and she was asking me, is there a Mandela Effect with the Cheshire Cat? and I said, I don't remember what it is, but it's something that it says. And she came back with, yeah, it used to say this, and now it says this. And and it was funny because she does see them.
Yeah.
But it's not that big a deal.
They say we're all mad around here, or something like that. That's the one, isn't it?
We're all mad. We're all mad here.
Yeah.
We're all mad here is what it used to say.
Yeah, something like that. Yeah.
And now it's like some of us are mad here.
I don't know. I mean, I don't know. That movie seems like it would be hard to remember a line like that, but people remember them. People notice them.
Yeah. Well, and that's the thing. When she sees them, it's no big deal. To her, it would, if anything, it would be, okay, what are you trying to tell me? Right. What is it? And she'll.
Yeah, it took me months to look beyond the change. I was just like, it changed, and then trying to tell other people, and them not seeing it, not realizing that, hey, it's for me. And I need to figure out what this is telling me.
Just as I come out with the analogy of, hey, we were given this Play-Doh, and we just keep staring at it. We're not doing anything with it. We're like, oh, cool, look at the Play-Doh.
We are all a little mad here. Thanks, Jerry.
Is that what it says? We are all a little mad here?
I think that's what it originally said. Right?
I don't think so.
Oh,
that's not what it said for me.
Okay. I guess that's the new way then.
We're all mad here is what it used to say for me. That doesn't mean anybody else is wrong. Everybody's right.
Right. Wow.
I love that because somebody today was telling me, she was talking, like all of a sudden, a video I did in 16 or 17 about the Atlantic and Pacific Oceans meeting and not mixing.
Right.
I never heard of that before. So I did a little video on it, and it kind of dwindled away. And that was funny. When I did the video on it, I was looking it up, and there was like, 3 videos. It was the same exact footage. There was, 3,000 hits and 1 comment, and the thing's been there for 5 years. Are you kidding me? I'm like, something's up with that. And I kind of forgot all about it. She was talking to me about it today because I said, oh, yeah, that's, might be a Mandela, might not be. I don't know. I said, I just never heard of it before. And she said, oh, no, they taught us that in school. And I'm looking at her like, what? Come on. They don't teach that crap. But they tell you the earth was, I wasn't, I'm like, come on, what else they teach you? You went to the right school. But I was a little shocked that, oh, yeah, she understood that. Oh, yeah. She started to explain why. And I'm like, please don't do that. You might as well try and explain to me why the dash is missing in Kit Kat. Okay, just don't.
Thank you, Rain on the Plains. Yeah, we're all mad here. Switch to.
I haven't been looking in the chat. Hey, Rain, you here? Hey, what's up? One Eileen's in the house.
Yeah.
Rita.
We're all a little mad here is the new way, I guess.
Just hanging out.
Yeah, Who's that's this? A pretty big difference. Scream Engine, shout out. Maldumas, Caleb, everybody in the chat. Alva, who I spoke with the other night. So yeah, big shout out to everybody, and definitely want to see this Kimberly Lynn Hansen. I might have to watch it on the replay on that one, but I will definitely watch it. Definitely.
It should be a really good thing because she's going to rip anything out of me that it would. Okay, I get that, but I'm using words here. Okay, it's not her. Well, all right. She's going to rip out of me anything that's going to hinder me or stop me. In other words, it's going to bring to her attention shit that I need to know, and it's going to, and it's going to help me.
Gosh, you know what? And it's been told to me several times just to stick a label on it, but you might be the only God someone sees in a day. Like, we become the instruments or the extensions of God, right? So on top of this memory comes to mind of me rolling with my dad. I was like 3 or 4 years old. This guy had been pouring some gasoline in his lawnmower, trying to get it started under the hood. I don't really remember, but the guy caught on fire, right? And he's running around his front yard as we're driving by. My dad pulls the car over, runs over to the guy, wraps him in his coat, starts rolling him around on the ground, and puts the fire out. And it was shown to me how my dad, to that guy, was an angel that just showed up out of nowhere. He's burning up. And, and it's like, it was shown to me how that's how we are,
Last thing she wants is to be on a pedestal. She is one of my biggest teachers in my life.
Oh, I know, yeah. But we can all be like that to someone is the whole point.
Yes. And
if we make ourselves available.
Yeah, no matter what the circumstances. And yes, she's taught me a lot already. I mean, it's ridiculous. And anybody can show up at any time. I know it's almost so hard for me to talk anymore. And I love when I feel like this. You don't know, because I want this all the time. And when I'm sitting here by myself and I might be doing something else, or I'm down, and every once in a while I'll be like, yo, where's that feeling, man? Why?
Yeah.
And it's funny because I've heard Kim go, oh, there you are. And I'm like, what are you talking about? Oh, I got you. I totally get it now. I totally get a lot of stuff, but I don't get it all. And I'm not,
But you're getting there. You got that momentum. Like that.
And I'm going to let that momentum go on. And doing shows like this all week is just building up the excitement. And I'm just like, no, I got to tame that because I'm like right now, I'm bouncing off the walls. I wasn't, I'm ready to go, man. And it's even more exciting now than knowing I could leave Friday.
Yeah.
I don't know what's going to happen. I don't want to say I see or don't see. I haven't looked. Okay, because if I tell you I have to look, I'd look at it right now and I'd probably get the car Friday and leave Saturday. But that's not from me. I don't even, I'm like, I don't know. I don't plan on leaving until what, Monday? Monday's the day I could go.
You know what?
I might not have a car until Monday. I don't know.
That's so funny because we've already seen all these synchronicities with Vancouver, Canada, and some kind of group there. Her iPad created this video, and it took these clips, and it created this future video. She goes, create a file on your computer called Random Vancouver, and just start putting this stuff in there because it's going to be amazing. She's already on top of it from the future, you know. And I was just telling you this: keep a little notepad, write down how this stuff is just playing out because you're not going to remember it all. There's going to be so many little cool little synchronicities that you're going to wish you had just jotted them down just to show people how they all play out. And she's already done it enough times that she's already warning me now. Not warning, but, you know, telling me, preparing me.
Down.
Make a folder. Put this stuff in the folder because the day she sent that video about Vancouver, someone else sends me this video. I open it up and it's like a Vancouver beer commercial, but this guy's like dancing around and there's this white rabbit in it. And I send it to her. I'm like, this came through just as, you know, it said Vancouver tap into it. It was a beer commercial, like beer tap into the beer or whatever, but it was, what stood out to me was Vancouver tap into it. Because when she sent the video, I'm like, there's no way I'm going to be able to make it to, there's no way I'm going to make it to Vancouver. You know, I'm still trying to catch up from this other trip. And, you know, immediately, you know how your mind starts going to work, throwing up the walls, throwing up the brick walls. And then immediately, yeah, and then immediately I get this video, Vancouver, tap into it. I send it to her. She goes, pay attention. This is exactly how Spirit speaks to me. Or I don't know how she worded it or labeled it. But, you know, put that in a file and start saving them because you're going to see it all unfold in this beautiful, just like her presentation. How beautiful was that? I can't believe she didn't know what she was going to be presenting until the morning of the presentation. She was okay with that. You know what I mean?
She was on top of it.
Oh, she was on top of it.
That's the funny thing. I really didn't speak with her throughout the whole conference. I mean, I said hello. It was weird because there were two people there when I ran into, look, dude, I ran into you and I'm like, okay, yeah, I knew you, you know. I ran into other people there that I'd never seen on YouTube, and I was like, okay, you know, I know you, nice to meet you, whatever. But I ran into Richard and Kimberly. Those two specifically. As soon as I saw them, I went, I know you. I mean, for no reason at all. It just came out of my mouth. Said hello to somebody, and then Kimberly. And when I said, I shook her hand or something, I said, oh, I know you. And she just kind of backed up. and Richard, when I said that to him, he went, oh yeah. And he's looking at me like, yeah, we, you know, astrally or something, he said, you know, and like he knew already. It was just, that was weird. But for her, I didn't speak with her the whole time until the end of the conference. I mean, to me, that was perfect.
Right. It just all
so I wouldn't have had the questions. I wouldn't have had, you know, that first night we were talking, I had questions galore. And, you know, I wouldn't have had those questions not talking to her until her presentation. You know, so.
Right. So I'm excited for everybody to see that. Sherry had to dip out. But,
yeah, that's good. Oh, she left? I'm sorry.
Yeah, I think. Yeah, she said she loves your stuff and she's glad you made it on, but she had to dip out.
Oh, I would have said bye.
Yeah, I think she got company. Okay, well.
But it was just the whole thing, all the way from Ketchum till now and beyond, and it's going to continue. I already know it. There's like gates, the gates are just opening up, and I have not a clue. It doesn't even matter.
Isn't that beautiful, man? That you don't even have to worry about it. Oh, you just get in the flow. You just get the flow is there, you know.
Oh,
and it's actually so liberating when you don't have to worry about it. You're like, I don't know, things are just going to fall into place.
Sit back like this and just get on that little flowing river and go down it because that's, you know, and there's more. Yeah, I'm just writing down questions. I don't think she'd approve.
So yeah, we'll definitely have to check that out on 5:30 Mountain Time on
5:30
Thursday.
Mountain Time, Thursday
Kimberly
night.
Hansen.
Yeah, and we'll be discussing the trip. You know, and what I've done on Dan's show and his crowd, Bernadette and her crowd, you and your crowd, is kind of set that up. So I'm hoping I won't have to go through the whole Ketchum story. I'm hoping, you know, we could just get into it, that people understand what we're talking about. When I say, yeah, it told me this, it told me that. And as an example, is trying to get a clear pathway. One of the things that have been coming up since Ketchum for me was, you know, the marijuana. Am I smoking too much pot? So I came out and asked it. I said, you know what, this is perfect. And I, you know, just kept quiet, and I really wanted to understand this because I was ready. Okay, it didn't matter what it asks, and it's going relax, chill, roll a joint. I don't care. If you need to do something, what I'm going to want you to do is chill out on the alcohol because there is a stop there. There's a stop there, but there's a reason there's a stop there, and that's because so I won't have to stop. I'll be able to go out and have a beer to be sociable and stuff like that because I get with the right amount of alcohol, I get real psychic, and you don't want to be around me when I'm that because I don't hold back, and half the time I feel like I'm just being an idiot, and half the time I am. So I don't. That's why I stopped with the alcohol altogether for 15 years. That was my reason in my 20s, and I didn't tell anybody that.
All right.
So I'm tired of walking around the bar going, "Yo, buddy, you got to go home." Why? Just go home. Comes in the next. He's not in for a week because him and his wife are getting a divorce. It's not my business, man. Right. I'm exaggerating.
And that's the other thing, just like you were talking about with the whole don't put labels on it. And that was pretty much for you, I think. And it's come through with sessions that I do. It's very, very. I mean, like if quitting meat, you can't. If you feel like Source is saying quit eating meat, that doesn't mean go out and start preaching it to everybody else because we're all on our own journey.
Oh man, yes.
Quitting alcohol or marijuana, Source might have told some of us to quit.
It's about you.
It's very individual. And we see that with the Mandela Effect. Even the whole experience of the Mandela Effect is completely, there might be similarities, but it's completely individual.
I'm glad you mentioned the meat. In 15, when the orbs projected to me the first paragraph, stop eating meat. Second paragraph, stop eating meat. There was, all that information. Okay, that was for me then. Okay, and along with the other stuff, and I still keep an eye on the meats and all the other stuff that was on that list. Look, it was for me then to get to that next step, to see those other experiences I had to experience, and I wouldn't have been able to do it for whatever reason with that energy in my body. And like I said, still now, I'm still, if I really feel like I want a piece of meat, I have fish. I mean, it's, and I don't know how I can justify that, but whatever. It's different now than it was then. But if it tells me it's okay, I have it. If it tells me, just have mac and cheese this time around, okay. I don't care. I'm more conscious of what I'm eating, but I'm not going to make a big stink out of it. I'm more conscious of a lot of things. Consciousness. Can we talk about consciousness? I might have to write that one down because that's been coming in a lot with me, and it's a lot of the lessons, we can call them that I've been getting into. First thing I got off of Kim's channel was we don't have consciousness. Okay, we are consciousness. And that was a big, when I took that in, I was just like, so now so this thing now I'm taking it further now, now I'm like, God, I'm tapping into this, everybody's tapping into this same energy, this energy consciousness. That's what this is. But then it went a little further. And that's something I probably like to talk to Kim about, but I don't think it's going to matter. About how do I put this? She'd understand the different sections of consciousness. Mm-hmm. Is there really different sections of consciousness? I mean, isn't that really putting a label on it again? Aren't we starting to label it if I'm going to break it down like that? So it's still a process for me.
It's like one of those things where it's like, you could think of the consciousness being in you or, in your body, but it's really your body's in the consciousness. It's like the consciousness is everywhere, Yes,
it is, and it's in everything.
Yeah. and that's what I loved about, Jill Bolte Taylor, who had the stroke on one side of her brain. And she was like, how in the world am I going to get all of this back into that body? You know what I mean? It was just amazing because, awesome. Yeah, she's got a TED Talk, Jill Bolte Taylor. In fact, I brought her up in the presentation, but you can look it up. She was a brain doctor. So she got to experience a stroke, losing half of her brain, the left hemisphere. and becoming expansive and all of this, and she explains what it's like for that voice inside your head to just finally shut up, and you're just free almost.
Almost. No, I think you are free, but it's how. I think one of the things I'm trying to figure out is how, and just figuring something out is ridiculous, but I'm trying to figure out how much physical reality is acceptable for this, and how much do you bring in, how much do you bring out, and it's just pointless to even think in that direction, and I already know that.
Right.
One of those small little things, coincidences. See, I hate using that word anymore. I don't think I'm ever going to use that word again.
Well, see, know what? That word's been actually misused, because if you break it down in and incidents. Incidents is something happening. Co is saying more than one, right? Two or more. So a coincidence is actually not the way it's used, like it's an accident. But the word is actually a good word. It's just sort of misused.
More words.
People don't think coincidence when they think coincidence. They think accident. Like it was just random.
I need to put this on for this story. Hold on. Yeah, this story is a good one. We were walking around. Now, how important is this to people? How much do they see the synchronicities? Because they've been going on since I left Ketchum, a couple of days before Ketchum, and to this day, and they're still happening, even the tiniest little things. And I'm going to bring something up that is a miracle, but it's just this tiny little personal thing. So how big is it? We're walking around. When we were putting the artwork together in Ketchum, I blurted out, "Hey, I'm going to play the Wisher Washer game." Okay, you understand that? You find a washer. It's got a hole in it. You put the wish in the hole. You let the washer lead you to water, and you throw the washer in the water for your wish. And I said, "I'm going to play that game," and I kind of let it go. When we were out running around or whatever, back and forth, at one point, she finds a screw and hands me a screw, and I'm looking at it going, "Oh, cool." And I get all excited, and I go, "Wait a minute. It's just it's a screw. It's not a washer." And she says, "Yes, but do you want me to explain that to you?" And I said, yeah, because I didn't get it. I'm like, to me, as far as I'm concerned, I found my washer. That's good enough. I'm done. Game over. and she's like, no, that's your analytical mind taking the screw off to get to the washer. Wow. You didn't get the washer yet. I said, "Oh, wow, that's really neat." I mean, this is even after I'm seeing all this other stuff.
Right.
That's really neat, and let it go. And it was the next day we were walking around after she missed her flight, and I couldn't find my knit hat. I'm like, "I need a knit hat. I got it." "Oh, we'll go into a store and find you a knit hat." We walk into this one store, and I happen to pick up a hat, and I look at it. I said, "That's nice." I put it back down. Maybe I'll get it. I'm looking at some other clothes. She walks over. She picks up the same hat and goes, "Come here." You're not going to believe this. This is the hat.
Wow.
There's your washer. Okay. The washer's on the hat that I'm looking for.
Wow.
Like Nobleness D is an odds guy. He's all about the odds of things, and that blew his mind. That excited me. That blew his mind, because I was like, cool. This is showing you and him with he's working with now with like Tesla stuff, and he's like looking at it into electricity and Tesla stuff and the ether, and he's looking at this. I'm like, yes, he's touching on that stuff, and I guess this story kind of showed him this stuff's possible. And that just for the odds of that, you're looking for a knit hat and you found a washer attached to it. No, this won't be getting thrown in any water anytime soon. I'm telling you, I don't know. This means a lot. And it's like, this is a heck of a reminder. If I want to be in touch, in tune, I either look at the hat or put it on, or basically what I'll do is I just put myself in the moment, and it straightens me right up. I just put myself in the moment that quick, and it's just a beautiful thing.
That's where I'm at now, just trying to be in the moment.
How big a deal is that? That's just a coincidence. That doesn't mean anything. No, this was, and Kim bought this for me, and it was a very nice gift just to prove a point. You know, she bought this for me to prove a point, and that cracks me up because, I was getting it. There's a washer on it. I mean, it's just little things like, and the music. Okay, how many songs are there in the world? You know, that you're listening to a song on hold and it comes on in the restaurant. When you say, "Oh, I really like this song," who could do that for you?
Oh, something else we forgot to mention. When she went to board the plane the second time, there was people at that first restaurant where we ate at that were sitting next to us that overheard us and ended up coming to the event. Well, they were waiting to board that same plane. I don't know if you heard that part of it.
Yeah. No, I didn't hear that at all. So
she ran into those same people that, and also she was working on a children's book, and it turns out that they were who she needed to meet for that. So there was way more to that whole thing.
That's even so much bigger.
Yeah,
that's huge.
That's huge.
That is. See, and
so be sure to ask her about that.
I'm definitely gonna. You're right there.
Jot that down. The children's book people waiting for the airplane. Yeah.
Children's book people. Make sure you write that down. Good, because you know what? I'm going to blame you for everything I wrote down now. Because it's like this ain't about taking notes, man.
It's perfect, man. It's going to be exactly what you need.
And that's this whole trip thing for me. There's no pressure, but I do want to show this by examples, and that's why I want the excitement to come in more than me going, all right, I have to prove something. I got to get out of that mind. That's a limitation for me. And so I do need to get out of that. That's why walking around with the camera might not be a great idea for me to be worrying about what I'm going to film. So I might just be talking about it. I might be going, okay, this is what happened. I'm sorry I didn't break out the camera, but this is what happened. Kind of cheesy, I guess. I don't know.
I went through the same thing. I mean, you would have thought I would have collected way more footage there, but I'm told not to be distracted from what's happening to try to capture footage. You know what I mean? Because a little bit of footage goes a long way, and I found that out not to let it disturb the flow of things because you're wanting to be the reporter on the scene, trying to capture every moment because you'll end up sort of getting in the way,
Yep.
Yeah. So.
And that, even when I only broke the camera out there like on breaks and stuff.
And I tried to do that in some of the and I did get some footage, but you can hear the background noise was awful. I mean, you really need a special mic not to capture the whole room full of sound.
I can't wait to see these the footage Chris put together. I went, that should be coming out soon. Yeah, I don't want to put any pressure on him. I don't want to have pressure on me for this thing. I'm like, oh.
Well, I think he's got. We just got the proofs that the interviews that he did with the speakers are going to be coming out on his channel. And she's editing, Heather, the one that was there filming with the filming crew or whatever, she's working on editing the actual presentation. So they're going to be putting them up on a special Mandela Effect conference YouTube channel. So it's coming.
They're starting a whole new channel?
They're starting a channel just for the Mandela Effect conference to have the presentations on there in a separate place.
Nice.
Yeah. That way people can always just go there, check out the different presentations, and we're trying to get things organized behind the scene, but it's beautiful, man. It's all working together. It's it's so great working with Christopher Anatra, Cynthia Sue Larson, Lauren and Kimberly, and Jerry, of course. And he was just talking about he remembers those folks at the restaurant that were sitting next to us. Yeah, that was part of that story. When she went to the airport, she missed her flight. The next flight, those people were waiting. She said the daughter actually said, hey, don't I know you from somewhere? And then the parents turned around and they realized they were at the conference at the airport, about to get on the same plane. They started discussing the books and how they work with books and how she's working on a children's book, and they exchanged information. So all this synchronistic stuff happened besides what we mentioned earlier with her missing that flight. She was supposed to miss that flight.
Absolutely. Well, yeah, it wasn't even a matter of missing the flight. It's just it was perfect.
It was perfect. What was wrong was right, like she says all the time.
Yeah.
Well, I'm going to have to wrap this up, buddy. We're coming up on 2 hours.
All right.
And so once again, anybody hopping in at the last minute, if you were subscribed to Susso before, click that link below and make sure you're still subscribed, because he did switch channels. He closed down the old one and opened a new one. So let's go over there and fill up your subscribers again.
Yeah, and don't forget Thursday.
Yep, Thursday, 5:30 Mountain,
Um,
7:30 Eastern.
I'm looking forward to like Saturday. Like last real quick. I know you want to get off. Last Saturday morning, I got up. Nothing was on. I was like, I really want to interact, and nothing was happening. And I just did a live thing. Saturday morning with Susso, got on, started chatting. It ended up being an hour and a half long. I was describing my book. I probably don't have to buy it. Just go to that. And I thought, you know what? I'm going to try this every Saturday morning if there's not other people on. I don't like jumping on other channels. Like when Saturdays, Fridays, Saturdays, it's so tough. If I wanted to put something up, I'm like, I don't like doing that when other people are up. If Lone's on, if you're on, other people, whatever. I'm just like, nah, I don't want to do that. But there's different crowds.
Yeah.
There's different crowds for and so it doesn't really matter.
No,
and I'm still like, no, we all got to unite. No, we don't, because it's going to come down to being an individual thing, regardless of anything, and that's how you're going to get your answers.
Well, I'm never on Saturday morning, so you don't have to check in on me. But people can always go back and watch it later too. So. It's not like they miss one for yours or vice versa, because they can watch one live, join in the chat, and then watch the other one after the fact.
If I leave Saturday morning, that could be a cool live show on the way out. I don't know, but I don't know. I'm driving through the mountains here, man. I'm not going to have connection.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not going to, I'm going to lose it as soon as I hit one of these canyons. But we'll see. It's going to be fun. I'm excited. I can't wait. I got myself a little week vacation here. I mean, but it's not just a vacation for me. This is school. I'm learning, and I'm going to be very excited.
Every day is school, isn't it?
Very, very excited about it. That's my goal.
Well, man, I really appreciate you taking the time to come on, and have to have you back as soon as you get back from the trip. Even if you want to check in during the trip, that'd be really cool.
Oh, I could probably do. Well, I don't want to. I'm not going to make any plans.
Right. We'll see what happens.
No, I don't know.
Right.
It's going to be great. Very excited.
We'll be in the flow, and you guys will know.
Keep an eye on my channel. I am going to put up an old video. I don't want to confuse anybody, but in this video that I'm probably putting up, I don't know, sometime between now and tomorrow. If you see it, it's from 2017, and I'm telling you, I touch on the stuff that's going on now. And I'm just watching that like, wow, you got to be kidding me.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm nowhere near, but I could see that was the direction I was definitely going and where I'm at now. So
yeah,
it's all
perfect.
perfect.
All about keeping that momentum.
It's all perfect.
Seeing the synchronicities and all that. The synchronicities are just little signposts to show you that you're on the right track. You got the momentum, the flow going on.
That circle in the sky was a complete message to me. And also,
and now you found some kind of craft or orb or what did somebody say? It was a Pleiadian orb or something? Somebody said
that freaks me out. But other than that, the other sign was from it, and it was telling me everything's perfect. Thanks for making me a UFO researcher guy now. Oh my God, that's so cool, because that picture looks like other things that I've seen people take pictures of.
Yeah. It's really neat. It almost looks metallic to me.
It's kind of freaking me out now, knowing I was standing right there and the thing was zipping all over the place.
And
I caught it, and I had to wait 4 days to find out that I think it was Friday morning.
And then we find out live. There it is. Plain as day, man. It's like
I'm out here all the time.
I'm like, how did he miss that? Did he miss that?
How did I miss that? You're going to make me go through. I have so much footage of this back area. Just that I got in a folder. I'm like, okay, I'll just put it under nature.
Oh, Pleiadian Snowball. That's what Scream Engine said.
I'm going to be looking at all my video now, looking at every little spot.
Yeah, you have to, man. You'd be surprised what you catch, because some of that stuff moves so fast that
one thing I caught on time lapse really blew my mind, because it was 10 seconds in between shots, and I put it on, and the first shot I got this. It's a line, and the second shot it's here, and I'm like, it took 10 seconds for that line to get here. And then that was it. And I kept slowing it down, looking at it, looking. Now I know I have it somewhere, and I've looked for it and can't find it, but I know I got it on here somewhere, in some timeline somewhere. So I'm sure I'll be able to find it. But that was weird. And it was streaked. It wasn't like it was going slow.
Right.
So it wouldn't have been going that fast for a 10-second shot. And I'm like, that was just kind of weird. Like, well, I guess, of course, it was a bug. Of course, it was a bug.
I don't know.
No, I know what. I'm not going to question it. It was perfect, whatever it was.
Wait. They're saying, okay, so some of the people didn't see it. Let me pull it up for you really fast here. Oh, it's already right here.
So Friday morning, I woke up with a cigarette and coffee, looked at the sun, and then looked over at the mountains and went, holy crap, I need a camera.
Okay, so this was the image. We actually showed this. Eileen and I showed this, but while we were looking at this, I noticed right here up at the top, in this area right here, I'll zoom in on it.
You got to do this side. I'm closing my eyes because this is just freaky.
There it is. What is that? That's amazing. Pleiadian snowball screaming, it says. That's funny.
But then you got
right
the
there.
Other shot, the video.
Yeah, the video, you can find it in there too. Yeah.
It's moving, and it sits right in the center of the circle.
Yeah, it does. Here it is up here. I'm not able to zoom in on this. That's the only problem with the video. But, you can put it in the software and find it. There it is again here. And then towards the end, it was right in the very center. Let me see if there it is. Oops.
Yeah, look at that.
Right here.
And that's on purpose, man. I'm sorry. That's hello.
No, it's
that's hey.
Wait a minute. Look.
Another one?
There's two. There's one here and one here. That's amazing. Yeah, you got to pull this into your software and zoom in on that. And
great. I don't know how to do that. I guess I'm going to have to learn. I don't know. I've never zoomed in
even
on
the last frame, it's right here.
Wow.
So I don't know if it jumped up from the center. No, see, there's a frame in between where there's nothing there.
Nothing at all, or it's somewhere else on the screen,
right.
maybe. Or maybe it took that long. I mean, that's a regular straight video. This isn't the time lapse one.
Right. It's the regular video. So where was it in between?
So it's blinking.
It's here and here.
It's
maybe.
shifting.
Okay, I think the one up here is, I think this one is the one that moves over to here, maybe. It's right here. So yeah, it looks like it's some high quality footage, so it should be pretty clear, just like the image was when we zoomed in on it. Yeah, that's just amazing though, man. I'm glad I spotted it. I mean, I'm always looking. You'd be surprised how much is there, and you're like, how did I miss that?
You're always looking, and you spotted that.
Yeah. Very cool. Now let me see where the sun is in relationship to this. Yep. I was going to say, okay, so you can tell the sun is to the left because of the way the shadow is here, and above, of course. And when you zoom in on this is why I say it's metallic, because you can see a sort of a shine from the direction of the sun over on this side, just like you see on the mountains. It's brighter on this side, it's more shadowed on this side, and of course underneath is going to be the darkest with the sun shining down on it. So, yeah, it looks like it's a spherical object, definitely. That's amazing. I'm glad we saw it, man. Glad I spotted that. All right, you guys. Well, I guess thank you again for coming on, Susso, and Sherry. Thank you wherever you are.
Sherry, nice seeing you again, hon. Wherever you are.
Lots of love and light to you guys in the chat. Don't forget to subscribe to Susso's channel, and we'll see you guys in the next one. Peace. If you'd like to support the work I do, go to paypal.me/UOTF. Thanks.